Good morning and welcome to another episode of Stuck in a Lift. Today we are talking to Lee Hawley, lift consultant and business owner of Vertex. Hope you enjoy. Lee Hawley. I've got a full name you. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah?
I'm good. Yeah, this is all very nice.
Thanks.
This professional studio that you have here is excellent. I like the panel behind you and the.
Dewhurst have done amazing for that.
Really, really good. No,
Yeah,
I'm impressed. Impressed. It's very nice.
How's your journey in?
Wet.
Yeah, you brought the rain.
Even though I was driving, it was torrential coming in.
Was it?
Yeah, no. From where I live, it's not far. So,
that's all right then.
No problem at all.
And you had a lay-in this morning?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit of a lay-in. Yeah.
So I heard that lift consultants like to start, later in the day.
Oh, but we finish work late.
Oh,
Work very late,
do you?
obviously. Yeah, very late. So, yes, no, it was a nice morning this morning. So, yeah, no problems at all.
So we've got you on the show to talk about bugbears of the industry. So
Yes.
I'm very excited about this category of conversation. But just before we start, who are Vertex and what do they do? Do you just want to introduce yourself a little bit to the
Yeah, of
camera?
course. So Vertex, independent lift and escalator consultancy. We're based in Keston, just outside of Bromley. And we've now been in business for 6 years. Personally, I've been in the industry for 35 years. Vertex, was born out of my time in industry, worked at all of the majors for a long period of time, started out at the drawing office, worked on the tools for a large independent at the start of my career in the early 90s. And I got to the point really just before lockdown, if you like, before COVID, when we had the lockdown in 2020. A year before that, I thought, it's time to lots of clients and people I've got to know over the years. It's time to do my own thing. Was ready, and Vertex was born. Yeah. So
Where's the name come from?
So yeah, good question. The name actually, a vertex is the summit or the peak, if you like, of a mountain range. And I'd actually been skiing earlier that year, and I was just looking at some old photographs. It's really cool. That's a good landscape, and I thought, what the pinnacle of a mountain, and Vertex. I was like,
Interesting.
wow, that's a really good name. Actually, lifts, etc., vertical transportation, Vertex. So that's where Vertex
Interesting.
came from. Yeah.
So how was it starting a year just before lockdown and then going into lockdown? Did your life kind of change or did you kind of manage to power through?
We was quite resilient, to be honest, like a lot of the industry was. We did power through, as you say. We spent, I suppose, 2019 into 2020 building the business anyway. It was a challenging time for everybody. Fair to say, right? We was all in the same situation. Fortunately, I had some big clients in Nike. We was doing quite a lot of work for McDonald's, a few kind of housing associations as well that still needed our support with problematic lifts, and we were still, where we could, obviously maintaining distance and protection, we were still able to go out and do audits and surveys and support our clients, even if it's via email. And so it slowed down massively, like it did for a lot of people. But as you say, we got through it, and the other thing as well, it gave us a good opportunity to take stock of where we were, even though it had only been the previous year, and do some things that you kind of put off doing, maybe. So, for instance, some refinements on the website and some of the social media type things that we was on, refreshing some of the pages and some content, and so we used the time the best we could.
Yeah. So what made you join? Why lifts? And why not musical theatre career? Like, why lifts?
you know what? Like a lot of people in this industry, family.
Right.
Family.
Yeah.
So my dad was a lift engineer all his life. He got into the industry through my uncle, who was a former kind of European at the time director of Marriott and Scott, that then became Coney. He also owned a number of lift companies, independents, over many years. He's still around. He's in his mid-80s now, but my uncle's still around. My dad passed away, unfortunately, a few years ago, but my dad finished up as a technician for a large independent. And he really, where I came into it was he organised work experience for me when I was 16, a few years ago now. And I did work experience with a guy called Ish Buckingham of a debt. And then when I left school at 16, I didn't have any plans to go to university or anything like that. I wanted to get into the industry, same as the family. And Ish kindly offered me a job, and that was my first in to the industry. Absolutely. So yes, I started off as a trainee design engineer, working with Ish in his drawing office. For many years it was just me and Ish working together, and it was great. And then from then onwards I moved into independent lift companies. And
so 35 years.
Yes.
35 years.
If you say it quick, it doesn't sound.
But you've still got all your hair. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, don't move too quick to come out. Is it a wig? Can I pull it? Oh, I thought it was going to come off.
It's still there.
It's still there.
I've still got it.
A lot of hair.
Might be thinning a little bit, and the colour's starting to change.
But that's the new look, though, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. So it'd be not at some point to be a silver fox would be good.
Okay.
You know.
You're going to change that name on your LinkedIn?
Probably.
Is that going to be your middle name?
Not some mangy fox that's diseased.
No, silver fox.
Silver fox. Okay. That's it. Yeah, that's the ambition.
Okay. Goals.
Yeah, absolutely. So
so what's been your most successful day so far? Out of all those 35 years, one day that's your most successful?
Oh wow, God. It's been a lot. I mean, I've had a fantastic career in this industry, and I think I can honestly say I've never really had a bad day, to be honest. All of the days I've had have been fantastic. I think probably, I'd say one of the best was the first major order I got when I was in sales at Coney. When we first launched the monospace machine room-less lift product at the end of the 90s. It was actually 97. And then about 2 years after that, I sold a big project for Vodafone for their world headquarters, and there was 24 of those lifts on that project, which for Coney at the time in the UK and globally for that volume of lifts for such a new product was massive, and it was a big deal. So that was proud. That was a good day.
Okay. That
was a really good day. And I think the other as well was probably when I incorporated Vertex when I started the practice. Because for me that's really it now. I've been in industry for a long time, and I really enjoy what I do now. And so starting the consultancy was a great move, and really enjoying it. And for me as well, it's the legacy. It's something to pass to hopefully the children will, my children will take it on. And
is that the plan? Do they know that? Do they?
Yeah.
You will work in lifts.
My stepson's a lift engineer.
Oh,
and so he came out his time a few years ago, and he now works for Vertex. And then also we've got Grace as well, who's our business account manager, both young, ambitious, and
teaches you how to do all the cool stuff.
Yeah, they do the cool stuff. They set my phone up, and they
help you remember passwords on
exactly some of the social media. They modify, they amend the website, and so the reason I really set the consultancy up was one, it was time for me to go out on my own, but also it's really to leave a legacy for youngsters and my own kids and people coming into the industry.
Would you, now you've experienced it in 2019 going up to now, would you have started it sooner, or do you think that you started it at the right time?
Good question. I mean, I like to say it was the right time. I like to say it was the right time. I think when you start these things, particularly in the world of consultancy, experience is paramount. Experience is really, it gives you the kind of gravitas and the knowledge that you need, and exposure to different parts of the industry. I would never have chose to do it without having been a former director of Otis, a former director at TKE, and I worked at Schindler Mitsubishi, Jackson's for a period of time.
But you got around a bit, haven't you?
So, but the good thing with that, it was all for, I was at Coney for 15 years, albeit with a break of a year in between, but that experience of all the different companies and those cultures and the travelling to the factories and the people that you meet and the roles that you hold stands you in really good stead as a consultant.
Yeah.
Because when you're with a client and you are their lift expert, to have that knowledge and experience of the industry, of being in all these different environments, is massive.
And although everyone's doing the same job, everyone works 2% differently, don't they, to the rest of them? Like the end goal is still the same, but you've learnt how multiple different companies work, and then you've taken bits from each person and put it into Vertex.
They're totally different. Even if you look at all the major lift companies, or the major companies are very, very different in terms of a working environment compared to the independent lift companies. But with the majors, people make these kind of off-the-cuff remarks. Oh, it's just a different badge. It's not. Having been entrenched in these companies for a very long period of time, 25 years plus. Yeah. These are big animals that spend multi millions in R&D, in development, and they are the companies that will be developing the next big thing. And it's all of the other companies that, whether we like it or not, that will follow in time with their development, purely because they haven't got the money or the capital to invest. Yeah.
So what makes your job difficult as a lift consultant?
Target Lifts are proud to sponsor the Stuck in the Lift podcast in partnership with Blacks Productions. A lift company with a passion to delivering expert levels of customer service, Target Lifts are always aiming higher.
Don't anybody to hate me for this, obviously, but it's, as always in our industry, it's communication, and it's the communication with the lift companies, and just, even if it's bad news, we just want news. So I think, and it's also we have a big part to play in that. It's how we conduct ourselves as consultants and how we work with the lift companies. I'm not the guy at the end of the day who's going to necessarily fix the lift or replace the lift. It's going to be the lift company. So you work as a team. For us, it's a partnership. It's an absolute partnership with the lift company that you are doing that project with for the client, because ultimately the goal is to satisfy the client and move on to their next project. It's all about, you've got the present job, but you want to be considered for their future business. So we all need to do a good job. It's never about, beating up the lift company or shouting and screaming. That's certainly not our style. And it's working together to all get the right result. And I think, communication is key. And also what you want from, we were talking about bugbears at the start. Yeah. One of my other, having been particularly on modernisation sales and new sales for many, many years, one of my things is you want the lift company or the sales guys in the lift company to be interested. Okay. You want them to ask you all the right questions, even if you can't answer them all. You want them to be interested. I understand. You will have a sales guy, sales girl in a company. They're quoting lots and lots of different projects. They're not always going to win them. If they win 1 in 4 projects, they're doing really, really well. They're doing a good job. But you want them to show interest in your project. And
why aren't people? Because I would be really interested. So I find that difficult to understand. Is it because they're doing multiple in a day and they're like, oh, it's just another tick box, done that? Are they not spending time to really appreciate what they're actually doing at that moment?
A bit of that.
Right.
A bit of that. There's always been this question of, is there science behind it, or is there an art? I think there was a bit of science.
Yeah.
I think you can work with, I've worked with different salespeople in organisations, particularly in the majors, and you have one guy who's what I would call it a kind of scattergun approach, where if we throw out 1,000 bullets, we'll get 10 orders back. We're doing a good job. Well, you'll get another guy who puts a bit more science behind it and asks all the right questions, you know, probes the client or the consultant a bit more to get more detailed answers, spends a bit more time on the survey, but there's a guy that picks and chooses what he does, because there's no harm in, I would rather a sales guy or anybody in a lift company decline to quote. If they feel they're not going to be competitive, if it's not their type of work, don't waste your time or ours or the clients. It's no harm in fact, I respect it. Absolutely.
Yeah, it comes back down to that communication.
Communication. So, you know, you'd rather somebody, a sales guy or salesperson, put some science behind what they do. Take a bit more time, ask all the right questions. If the answers they get back, it's not for them, decline to quote. And so that's, and I think it's workload for a lot of these guys. They're receiving documents, piles of specifications, paperwork, drawings, and they're being, having done it for so long, I completely get it. I've done it myself for years. You're being bombarded, and everybody wants work, everybody wants the best jobs, everybody wants the right price. If none of us are making money, there's no point doing it. Okay, so, but, you know, apply some science behind it, and I would say to any sales guys coming up through the ranks or new to the industry, you know, ask the right questions and be brave, you know.
I think anyone listening, just going back to your communication point there, anyone listening and thinks, well, no, our communication is spotless, like it's fantastic. I don't think that anyone can ever hit that level. Do you know what I mean? Because I think there's so much improvement in communication that everyone listening can improve on that communication point. Everyone. So what's the challenges above then? So you've spoke about the difficulties down or across, is not down, but across.
I think it's quite simple with my outlook on things and what I've experienced over the years. That it's all about having the right people in the right positions.
Right. Okay.
Simply that. You know, it's not about just. It's all about. People say this. It's all about efficiency and how we work and having the right tools in place. But most importantly, the right person doing the right job. You know, I've seen it time and time again. You have the best engineer in the field. Really, really good engineer. Does a great job, week in, week out. Because he does such a great job, what do? We promote him and we bring him into the office. And he fails. And then he's downhearted, he's downbeat, he's fed up, he doesn't want to be in the office. And within time he ends up a bit dejected, may leave, which is never good for any of us, especially good guys that have, you know, have done their time and have made the effort, and then it ends up going back out in the field again. So I love these old sayings, you know, kind of horses for courses, and I think you need to, as a director, a company owner, you need put some intelligence behind your recruitment and put the right people in the right positions, as long as they want to do that job, of course.
Yeah, of course.
We don't want to stop ambition either. We want, if the engineer really has been fitting lifts for 20 years, he's had enough, he wants to, by all means, give him that opportunity.
Which is so rare, so hold on to it. Hold on to that enthusiasm. Because I'd say that's 10% of the whole team in most offices, that people bring that. I want to learn this, I want to learn that. Can I go on that course? Put them on that course.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's all about looking after your people. You have to, they're everything. They are your business. No point owning a business if you haven't got the crew, the staff, the team, and you want to be having a good time. It's got to be, we take it seriously. It's a serious industry, but we want personalities, and we want people we don't want to stifle their personalities, and we want them to be themselves and ultimately do a good job so that we all do well out of it. Yeah,
because it all adds up, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
What's the craziest request you've had from, say, Nike or your housing associations. Has anyone come to you and gone like, I want this lift, and you've gone, wow, not heard that one before?
Oh, I think there's probably been quite a few over the years. Nothing immediately jumps to mind. I think the biggest, looking at the other side of things with the client requests, I still think the biggest thing with lots of clients, particularly your Nikes of this world, right? And I love Nike, by the way, good client of ours.
We all do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a huge fan.
So brilliant. And it's their expectations, okay, and it's what they want relative to time frame and what they're prepared to pay. So that's where
they always aim higher. Like,
that's where we come into it.
Right.
You know, that's where we come into it, and this is where, as a consultant, you earn your money, because we need to have some honest and frank discussions with these guys. You know, and the customer's not always right, unfortunately. You know, and
even though we have to say they are, but sometimes they're not.
Some say they are.
Yeah,
but you need to do it the right way. You know, and you know, we've had some odd, you know, Nike's a really good example, because we have lots of situations there where they buy a building and they want a lift, but they want a lift that applies no loadings. Doesn't exist. You know, unless there's something out there that somebody can tell me about. We haven't yet found a lift that kind of floats in place and levitates. No, I'm all up for that.
Okay,
I'm
next week.
More into innovation. But if we can find a lift that floats and levitates and moves exactly where you want it, when you want it, at any given moment, and doesn't touch anything, I'm all ears. Right? Okay. So put me in touch.
Yeah.
But yeah, this seems to be often there's solutions that in the realms of kind of physics and what we do as lift engineers are just not possible. You know.
So what's the future problems, like with AI taking over quite a lot of things? What's the future problem? Or the future concern, which I'd say.
No, well, the future concern for me has probably always been the same for a long time, if I'm honest. I mean, yeah, I'm all for innovation and technology, absolutely. So I'm not against AI. I'm not against. I mean, we're actually about to launch a new portal as part of Vertex, called Vertex 360, which we'll be launching at the start of next year. More to come on that. Hear about that soon. We're making an announcement. So this is something for our to aid our clients, basically. So all for innovation and development, and AI. I don't know how far as an industry we tend to be behind many industries. If you look at the automotive industry, if you look at aviation, engineering, we are some years behind them. So we tend to play catch up. But it is exciting to see what will be coming up in that regard for the future. My concern for the industry really, I suppose, is we've still got a lot of old lifts out there and old escalators, and it's skill set. It's when these guys retire, you know. And
it is skill set. It is, because unfortunately, the world of social media, people are spending more time looking at their phone whilst instead of learning or doing extra courses or asking the questions. Oh, why are we doing this? Yeah. And I agree with the skill set. I do, and I hear that so many times. And
to be honest, I don't really know. The obvious answer is training, but I don't know what the real answer is, if I'm honest, because equipment is getting older and it's getting replaced. So there's less and less of that equipment. So why train your engineers on old equipment that's probably going to be replaced very shortly anyway for something new? So there is a balance. We almost need a pool of kind of engineers that the industry can use that are just dedicated to particular equipment of a certain age. That's almost like, there you go, there's a business idea for somebody. You know, we have an organisation or even a kind of consultancy that runs engineers that just deal with certain products of a certain age.
But do you think
that they're trained on?
I think people should learn the old stuff, because that's the basics. Everything now in training is getting easier because there's more computer things doing things that you don't need to do.
Absolutely.
So if everyone knows the basics of the old stuff, then your job in 10 years' time is going to be easy. Do you know what I mean? So I think everyone should learn it.
Target Lifts are an independent business, and since 2009 we've been offering a peace of mind and complete confidence in the services that we provide. We're available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and can tailor contracts to suit your specific requirements. Here at Target Lifts, we pride ourselves on providing excellent communication and engineering detail to ensure full compliance, safety and reliability. Visit targetlifts.limited.co.uk to see what we can do for you.
And I think the independent lift companies do a really, really good job of that.
Yeah.
I think the independents tend to have, they all of the products they're maintaining, that they're looking after, they're repairing or modernising, are not pieces of equipment that they've made or they've mass produced in a factory overseas. So they already do as good a job of that as they possibly can.
Just going back to when you said about the old lifts could be a problem, right? Reebok trainers were new, they went old, and now they've come back as fashionable.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's possible for old lift parts to go, oh, do you know what, it'd be really retro if we put that in a new lift? Are we going to turn old lifts back round to being cool again?
I'd love to think so.
That would,
Because
I like that.
I think it'd be great. Definitely. I mean, I like it when you go to some lift company offices, and
Yeah.
we had it at Coney as well. When we had the old office in Clapham, we had old lift components in glass boxes. It was like a museum. Fantastic. You know, and some of this equipment is really, really cool, and also it lasts forever.
Yep.
You know, it's no different to any other industry. No different to how cars were made. No different. And do you know what, Alice? It's a great idea, and I'd like to think so. I mean, I think if we I don't think we're not proactively doing that as an industry, but I do think that where we are fitting out bespoke finishes into lifts, why not, where we can incorporate the old buttons or the old indicators, you know, like the sweeping indicators and things like this. We've got lifts I've been involved with, particularly places like the Cafe Royal and an old heritage building, where these lifts have got preservation orders on them. So you literally do have to remove all the old finishes, log them, catalogue them, and then reinstall them into a new lift. So on, I would say, in my opinion, fairly rare occasions, it is happening. But rarely. Okay. But I agree, it's cool.
I think it's cool.
And it would be a good thing to do. Well, we do it. You go to trendy flats now and apartments and places. It's all kind of, you know, you see the ducting and you know, all the lighting is, you know, from 1922, and like your setup here, you've got kind of, you know, you have the cameras and some of the old light rigs from the movies. You know, no, they were function. To buy one of them. Yeah,
exactly.
Probably not at the time, but now you spend thousands.
So our job is to make old lifts cool.
Another great. This is
got to make you cool first, and then what?
Good luck with that. I think that's the bigger challenge, to be fair.
What, to make you
to make me cool? Definitely not going to happen.
Okay. All right, I'll have to ask ChatGPT on that.
Well, well, there you go. We're back to AI again.
Yeah,
but now we've got to see. There you go. In a space of 10 minutes, 2 really good business ideas.
Yeah.
So all the people listening,
we shouldn't launch this. We should do this, shouldn't we?
We should do this. Yeah. If any of this comes out and we're not cut into this, I'll be quite annoyed. Suing. Strong
team,
but suing.
Yeah.
Strong word, but suing. Yeah. Why not?
So 35 years of experience.
Yes.
I'm sure your answer is yes. But have you seen anything unexpected along your journey that you can share with us?
All the time. Yes, absolutely. Do you know what? I think the biggest unexpected thing for me is hydraulic lifts. Still out there, still working, still not being replaced and not being modernised for a traction or a cost-effective traction.
And why is that?
I just think environment, sustainability, all of these kind of buzzwords, green words we use these days, Oil.
Yeah.
Oil. You know, and I'm somewhat surprised. And I'm not trying to, you know, I don't want to put anybody out of, you know, out of business with this about oil and about, there's some fantastic independent companies out there working on hydraulic lifts all of the time. And interestingly, you go to America, it's all hydraulic lifts. You know, they've not moved across to machine room less.
Yeah.
They have in some regards, but massive hydraulic market, as there is in other parts of Europe. Yeah, I must admit, I thought the whole hydraulics market, except for the likes of, say, vehicle lifts, big car lifts, big goods lifts, for instance, which lends itself to hydraulics, I thought the market would have died, if I'm honest, 20 years ago.
That long ago?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought with the machine room less products, and especially how that range has expanded from 1997 and still is today in 2025, 30 years. You know, high speed, high load, large groups are machine room less most of the time now, and we don't have the buildings here in the UK. We're not Chicago or Hong Kong or Toronto, where we've got thousands of 50-floor skyscrapers, where we need massive groups of lifts at different speeds and different. Yes, we've got Canary Wharf, and we've got.
That's nothing, is it?
Nothing compared to these other countries. I mean, I've spent a bit of time in Tokyo recently, and also in Toronto, and it's a different world. We're off to Dubai in December as well.
Yeah, what's the lifts like out there?
Well,
they must float, don't they?
So I'll let you know.
Let me know.
I'll find it out.
Yeah,
There's a lot of desert
a
out there. So maybe not so much float, but there is a sea, obviously. So maybe there is some floating going on. I don't know, but I'll let you know. I mean, I know the hotel that we're staying in. When you go down to the lowest floor, you are in the sea, because as you look out the windows in the restaurant, you can see the rays and the sharks and the fish, which I'm looking forward to.
Love that.
So while I'm looking at the sharks and the fish, I'll see if if any lifts float past.
You let me know. You let me know. So our previous guest has left you a question. What is your favourite sandwich as a child? Don't say nothing dodgy. I'm going to really judge you if you say a rubbish sandwich.
I'd almost rather not say, because it's boring.
Come on,
and I'll probably come across as extremely boring anyway. But I'm going to put it out there.
Go on, tell me.
Cheese and cucumber. Cheese and cucumber, white bread, bit of salt. Not much.
Just a
yeah, absolutely. Not James Martin when he does his butter and his salt and his pepper, which is just a heart attack waiting to happen. This is just a tiny sprinkle.
Tiny sprinkle of salt.
Cheese and cucumber.
I think the salt makes it a bit more flavour.
Yes.
But I'm judging you on the cucumber because of the soggy wet bread.
Alice, you've got to make it and you've got to eat it. You can't make it, wrap it in foil, throw it in your bag.
That's where I'm going wrong.
This is the issue.
Eat it 8 hours later.
Yeah. Even if you want to eat it 8 hours later, pack your ingredients and a knife.
Okay.
Obviously
toast it.
a legal knife, by the way. 75mm blade, no more. Okay.
Plastic one.
Just in case you get pulled over, or plastic one, and make it and eat it.
Okay.
You can't. We've all been there. Cheese salad sandwich, no good. You make it, wrap it in an hour. The bread's almost non-existent. Mush.
Yeah. Might as well feed that to the ducks.
The ducks won't even. They won't go there. To be fair.
Okay, cheese, cucumber, and a bit of salt.
Try it.
All right, I will.
There you go. Challenge for you guys for the weekend. Give it a go. Let me know.
All right, I'll text you.
Feedback. Welcome.
Okay.
Don't know how we moved from floating lifts to cheese and cucumber, but
seamless. Salt. Yeah, there we go.
Seamless almost. Seamless.
So we love to end each podcast in tradition, and we'd love to know who you'd want to be stuck in a lift with.
Who would I like to be stuck in a lift with?
Apart from me, obviously.
Apart from you, Alice, clearly. Whether this person would feel the same way, I don't know. But Lewis Hamilton, for me.
I reckon you are his answer, to be fair.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I'll text him later and I'll see if he'd say the same thing. But Yeah, I'm a massive motorsport fan. Always have been since I was a kid. Got it from my family's the same.
Do you ride as drive? What
I've
race?
always done a lot of the kart racing, so I
Okay.
love the lift industry
Yeah,
race. I used to have my own kind of kart racing team as well. We used to go all over Europe and all over the UK. So I've done the karting for 30 odd years. So I love motorsport. I did some schoolboy motocross as a youngster as well. But
I love motocross.
I broke my leg a couple of times, and so that was the end of that. I went on to 4 wheels rather than 2. Clearly can't control 2.
But now you're on 3.
I know, yeah. I'm not careful. I'll probably be in a wheelchair the way yes. So karting was always a passion for me. Motorsport. I follow the World Endurance Championship, so I go to Le Mans every year for the 24-hour race. That's a bit of a pilgrimage that me and some friends do, and I try to go to 3-4 Grand Prix if I can for the Formula One a year. Lewis Hamilton, I've followed his career since he was karting. I think he's kind of humble beginnings. You know, he came from kind of nothing. His parents basically remortgaged their house and borrowed lots of money, took out lots of loans, had multiple jobs to see him through just karting, let alone when he went into
It's so expensive though, isn't it?
Massive, unbelievably.
That and golf.
Well, at least if you've got some natural talent and you've got your golf clubs, okay, you then pay the course. Okay, with motorsport, any sort of motorsport, and I'm talking lawnmowers all the way through to race diggers or Formula One cars or
You can
go-karts.
race lawnmowers, is that
You
a
can
thing?
race lawnmowers.
Stop
It is
it.
a thing. Even that's expensive.
That's going to make you cool.
Racing lawnmowers, really. I've not tried it yet. I have raced a JCB.
Have you?
Go, anybody that's listening, go to Digger World, Rochester in Kent.
Digger World. Okay.
Diggerland. Sorry, not Digger World, Diggerland. Go to Diggerland.
Okay.
Fantastic. You can race JCBs around a course.
Can you?
Fantastic. So Lewis Hamilton for me, I love what he's all about. I think where he's come from, his talent, greatest racing driver in my opinion of all time. 7-time world champion, should have been 8. I'm not going to talk about what happened in 2021.
Do you need a tissue?
I'm starting to well up. This could get embarrassing. Could choke in a minute. Anyway, with Ferrari now, so I've gone from being a Mercedes fan to a Ferrari fan.
Okay.
And I think also he's what he stands for, his ethics and his kind of sense of social responsibility, and what he's doing for the youngsters out there, training programs, very involved in STEM type of things in education, and I just think he's just an all-round legend.
So when you leave in a minute, you're going to drive out the car park like Lewis Hamilton, then you?
No, what, in my pickup truck? No, no. That's why I buy slow, big, lumbering cars.
Just in case.
Yeah, just because of the points on my licence. Yeah. So there's lots of cameras around these days, and So no, do you know what? I'm based, Alice, as you're probably alluding to. I'm a failed racing driver, basically.
Oh, I don't like that. That's quite
Really?
sad.
Is that
I
quite
might
sad?
cry.
Really?
You're a failed.
I'm a failed racing
She
driver.
became a lift engineer instead.
Instead, yes.
That's a great way to end that podcast, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was on such a high.
We can go back to that.
Okay.
Cheese and cucumber.
Yeah, that was better.
Yeah, there we go. Cheese and
We're
cucumber.
back, we're
Perfect.
back.
Maybe add a little bit of pepper as well, just to mix it up.
Oh, okay.
Racing driver for me.
Okay.
If I had my time again, I would. I say that I've loved the industry.
You love your job.
No, I do. I absolutely love the lift industry, and
Yeah.
I've been in it all my life, and I don't actually know any different. And the racing is a passion for me, and always has been, and to be honest, always will be. But so will lifts.
Yeah.
So will lifts. Because I love what I do and the people I work with, and it's a great industry. As you probably
I do know.
You do know. You get around a lot.
Lee
Alex,
Philip Hawley.
No.
Thank you so much for joining me today on
You're
Stuck in a
welcome.
Lift. It's been great talking to you.
No, same.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Cheers, Alice.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's just got loads of.
What's these? I know nothing about
Okay,
guitars.
no
So
worries.
what's the red bit?
This is just the end of the string, so that the string dampens down on the tuning peg, so you get lots of sustain. I'll give you an example. So if you put your hand on the back of that, you can feel the vibration.
Yeah.
So I know when I'm on stage and I played the wrong note because I feel the wrong vibration. My role's extremely varied. So 1 minute I'll be on site with lift companies, contractors, subbies, and looking at a lift. Next minute I'll be in the boardroom being beaten down by large companies on pricing and, you know, infrastructural discussions on IoT and that type of thing. So it is extremely varied.
So a lot of years of experience.
Yeah, I feel about 150 at the moment.
Well, you look great.
Well,
so...
I've never had grey hair before, but hey,
Well, you've still got hair.
I have got hair, that's true.
Yeah, we just had Lee Hawley on and he's telling me that he's still got hair. So must be a great industry to work in if you've still got hair, right?
Do you know, it's a good industry,
Yeah.
and there are lots of nice folk out there.
Did you know, as part of Target Lift's social initiatives within our local community, we currently sponsor 4 football teams: Milton and Folkestone, Fleet Down United Girls, Lee Rockets FC and Together Men FC, a charity football team raising awareness for men's mental health. Keep an eye on all their progress on all of our social media accounts. Target Lifts, always aiming higher.